If you ever wanted to make smoky, juicy, pulled pork that basically falls apart on its own, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. We're going to make a homemade rub, a homemade barbecue sauce, and by the end of this thing, you'll have pulled pork that is as good as any restaurant quality pulled pork you went and paid money for. But you'll do it right here at home. So let's make it happen, Captain. I'll put everything you need to make this in the description. Go ahead, get your smoker started. You want to hit about 250 degrees on indirect. One of the issues with making your own barbecue rub sometimes is, well, how do you get it on the meat and all that? Take your mason jar, get you a lid from a grated Parmesan cheese shaker, and it'll screw right on there. And then, boom, you have a homemade shaker for your rub. Let's get our rub going. First thing we got in here is a half cup of just brown sugar. This is a 1/4 cup of paprika. Dump that into our jar. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. This is 2 tablespoons of just coarse ground black pepper. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put a tablespoon of garlic powder in a rub, a tablespoon of onion powder in a rub, 2 teaspoons of chili powder in a rub. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and yes, there is a difference between regular and smoked paprika. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. It won't make it that hot, but it does give it a little flavor profile, so you want to do that. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard and 1 teaspoon of cumin. After you get all that in there, just take your spoon, shove it down in there, kind of stir it up a little bit. You could shake it, but shaking it doesn't actually get all the bottom and everything mixed up. I find it better to take a spoon and give it a good stir. Make sure you get that brown sugar up from the bottom. We want it all consistent. After you get it all mixed up, this is kind of what it ought to look like. See, it's all one consistent something. Put your lid on. Now you're ready to season up some pork. Now you want to do anything you need to clean up your pork butt. Now, by the way, I'm not feeding a huge group today, so this is actually half of a butt, not a full butt. You want to check your back fat cap. Make sure it's trimmed down to about 1/4 of an inch on it. Also, any little loose pieces of fat or whatever that your butcher got lazy with and didn't clean up, you want to go on and clean that up. So take off any of that loose stuff that's still hanging. They actually did a pretty good job on the fat side for me. Sometimes you get some and, oh my gosh, that was Porky Pig, and they didn't bother to cut any of it off. You're not trying to cut all the fat off. Leave 1/4 of an inch back here so that it can render and help make it juicy. And any just really loose pieces that are hanging, go on and cut that off. Past that, let her be. Okay, we need to make a binder to make that rub stick to our pork butt. So what we're going to do to pull that off, we're going to take just good old yellow mustard. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of that, heaping tablespoons of that, into our measuring cup. And then we're going to put a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. You can use just plain old Worcestershire sauce, but I'm going to go and tell you, this W sauce, oh, this is the bomb. It costs more, yes, but on something like this or a brisket or whatever, oh, it's the way to roll. They didn't pay me for that or nothing. I just like their stuff when it comes to something like this. So I thought it was worth mentioning. Alright, we're going to take that. We're going to mix this up as our binder. Now then, back to our pork butt. So the binder is going to help all of the sauce or the rub stick to it. The mustard, you won't taste it. The Worcestershire, though, as that mustard starts melting away, it'll add a little something to it. So that's why we mix them together. Got my glove on. We're going to put a little of that on here, and we're just going to rub that all over this chunk of meat. Work it down into all the places. Now, I put a little on my fat side, but all that's going to melt away, really and truly. So that's not the part you really need to get crazy about seasoning. It's all the rest of it. Now that we got her all coated up, we're going to take our rub that we just made. We're going to liberally slap some of that on there. This has helped making your bark, also known as flavoring good stuff. So coat it up. But do save you, I don't know, about a good tablespoon of it in the end, because when we wrap it, we're going to put a little of that down in that wrap with it. I've got plenty left over. I'll use it for something else. If you did a whole butt, you wouldn't have this much left over. Mine's only a half. Okay, today I'm going to use my little tailgate and Traeger because, well, I'm cooking other stuff today and I need the height and everything of the big green egg. So I'm going to put my butt on the Traeger. We got it up to 250 degrees. We're going to put that bad boy on there. I'm going to put my meat spike in here just so I can keep up with the temperature. Now you want to make sure you don't put your spike on your bone. That'll affect the temperature that you're getting. We're going to put it on here. We're going to let that thing cook. We're going to make a sauce that normally you would spritz your pork butt with. My spritzer died today, so I'm going to treat it more like a mop sauce, but it's still the same stuff you do. Now that we've got our pork butt on the smoker, we're going to let it sit there and smoke at that 250 degrees. We want the temperature of our butt to get up near 160. About that time, that's when that bark should start turning mahogany and really looking nice on there. When that bark begins to look the way you want it, we're going to begin to spritz it, usually with the spray bottle, or use this mop sauce to start putting on the surface. It's really simple. This is 1 cup of just apple juice. I'm going to pour that in here. And then this is just a ½ cup of apple cider vinegar. Pour that in there. Mix that up. Normally you just pour that into your spray bottle. Mine's dead, so I'm going to do it that way today. For pulled pork, we're going to make a homemade barbecue sauce. First thing we're going to put in, this is a ½ cup of just ketchup. Have you a pot on low heat. Then we're going to put in a ½ cup of apple cider vinegar. Put that in there. We're going to put in a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Dump that in. We're going to put in a 1/4 cup of honey. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of molasses. Slow as. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. We're going to put in 2 heaping teaspoons of just plain Jane yellow mustard. We're putting in 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. We're going to put in 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. We're going to put in 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. About a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Going to put a ½ teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. And a ½ teaspoon of kosher salt. After you get all that in there, you just want to mix that, combine it. We're going to get it all mixed up, and then we're going to put it on a simmer, and that honey and everything in there, it'll thicken just a little bit as it simmers. You'll know when your sauce is ready because It'll kind of coat the back of the spoon. It'll be a little on the thicker side than what it is right now, and everything will be all combined. I'm going to work on mine. We'll see you in a minute. Got our sauce all combined up. You don't want too awfully thick of a sauce for your pulled pork. You want it to just coat it. But see, it's slightly thicker. It's about the consistency you're looking for pulled pork. The pork butt's at 160. We're going to check the bark. That's what we're looking at. I'm going to put a little of my Spritz, or for today we'll call it mop sauce. Alright, I got mine off the grill. Here's what the bark looks like. Now we're going to wrap this thing up. It's sitting at about 168 when I took it off the grill. So we're going to take and put a half cup of apple juice inside this wrap. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in here with it. We're going to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of brown sugar over it. And then we're going to put about a tablespoon of that homemade rub that we just did down in here with it. Now we're going to wrap this thing up really nice and tight. We're going to put our probe back into our meat. Put this back on the grill just like it is. Don't touch it until she hits anywhere from 200 to 205 degrees. My meat's been out on the grill. Got it up to 205. You don't cook a pork butt just by temperature. You cook it by feel. You should be able to insert a probe into it and it should go into this pork just like butter. Mine did. Pulled it off the grill. Now we gotta let the thing rest. You can put it in a warm oven or wrap it in a towel, throw it in a cooler, and let it sit there and rest. You want all of that juice and everything to work back into the meat. You want it kind of even out temperature. Let it rest at least an hour. It's better if you let it rest about 3 or 4. Now we're going to unwrap this thing and see what we got here. Oh, looky there, y'all. Look at that. Now all this juice in here, we don't want to lose it. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So, you know that your pulled pork turned out okay when you can grab this bone and it should just slide right on out. Just like that. So Mr. Chris, how are we going to get all this juice saved? I have a barbecue basket. The thing's expandable. Make this thing into a big old tub. This is actually what I rested mine in wrapped up. I'm going to take, because I have this handy dandy, oh, she's falling apart on me. I'm going to pull my pieces of pork out, and then I can take and turn my butcher paper over, let all that run down into my basket and drain, and then we're going to set this to the side. Now we're going to start pulling our pork apart. If you did it the right way, she should just start breaking up in your hands. I mean, just get it and just pull it. And it'll just break apart. I'm going to pull mine, then I'll show you the next step. Go ahead and get yours broken down. Alright, as you're pulling your pork apart, if you run across any like really big pieces of fat, go on and get rid of that. Nobody wants on their pork sandwich a big old honking mouthful of fat. So now that juice. Here's what I do. Get your mason jar, put your little strainer on it. We're going to take it and we are just going to pour it right out of our bucket into it. Now the reason we use a strainer, again, nobody wants a big old chunk of fat. This gets the juice and keeps the fat out. I'm sorry, I know I'm all in the way. It's a big bucket. Bear with me. Now we're left with the fatty part versus the juice part. We're going to get rid of the fat. We're going to take this juice, its flavor, It's going to also keep your meat from drying out. We're going to sprinkle some of that over it. Alright, remember that barbecue sauce we made earlier? We're going to put some on top of our meat. Now, serve your barbecue sauce on the side. Somebody wants more, put it on there. Don't drown your pulled pork in the barbecue sauce. We want just enough to get a light coating and little flavor from it on our meat. You can always add to it, you can't take it away. Now we're going to take just a little of that rub. We're going to put just a little of that in here. Just a little. Got my gloves on. Go on. Get that sauce coated on it. Work it around. Work that rub in it. Make it happen. Alright, y'all. Pulled pork. Alright, let's see how this thing turned out. Oh, baby. Look. You make this stuff right here, the barbecue place on the corner is going to stop seeing you. This is pulled pork. Put this stuff on a sandwich, serve that up with maybe a little coleslaw on top, a little of that extra barbecue sauce. Oh, your friends and family is going to be asking you to make this over and over and over. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more from Plant and Plate, hit that subscribe button. We do comfort food, plant and garden stuff, desserts and barbecue stuff. That way you'll know, hey, what the heck did we get into this week? Also, if you decide to make this, leave me a comment. Let me know how it turned out. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again. God bless. We'll see you down the road.